If you have pain in your SI joint right here, where the hip and your sacroiliac joint meet, well then guess what? You need to do the stretches and the release technique that I'm gonna show you in this video, okay? Now, why is this important? Well, when we have tight hip structures, right? Which means basically all the muscles around the glute, on the backside of the hips, the hip flexors, the psoas, things deep inside here, right? What those muscles do if they're really tight is they pull all of this together. And if they pull all of this together, these little nerves that innervate the spine right here and come out between the hip, those get pinched. And when those get pinched, we have aches, pains, we have the inability to use the muscles in our lower body, which can cause us all types of downline issues. So what do we gotta do? We gotta loosen up this joint, make sure the nerves have plenty of space to move around and do their job of sending signals to the muscles of the lower body. So how do we do that? Well, follow along to this. If you have a tight SI joint, first thing I would do is do a lying stretch where you're going to extend the knee and you're gonna decompress the lower back. So you're gonna bring your knee towards your chest, you're gonna grab the back of your knee like this, and you're going to just kind of relax the leg and bring the knee forward until you start to feel a little bit of a stretch in the hamstring. Now, two important aspects here. One, imagine dropping the hip. You don't want to hike the hip up like this. I'm not doing a side bend while I'm doing this. Drop the hip, keep it dropped down, and then as you're pulling your knee up, imagine that your thigh bone, your femur, is going out of the socket towards the ceiling. We don't want to compact the joint, we want to create space in the joint, okay? You can even grab your hands and pull up on the knee joint like this to give you a sensation of what that might feel like. Now, once you get the hand behind the knee right here and you find your position, extend the leg until you feel a little bit of tightness in the hamstring, and then bring your toes towards your nose. You're gonna hold this position for about 30 seconds. Inhale, exhale, bring the toes to the nose, extend the leg a little more, bring the knee towards the chest a little more. And once you're done with that 30 seconds, slowly relax the lower leg, slowly relax the upper leg. You can guide it down with your hand if you need to, and come up to a seated position. Wow. Feel how your lower back feels right now. When you pull the bones forward through the hip, you stretch all those muscles of the lower back and you create space in the SI joint. So already your SI joint should be feeling significantly better. And if you need to, you can actually do this same stretch on the other side. You don't have to do it on both sides, but sometimes it feels great to have that balance of both sides. Now, if you really want to get the max effects of this stretch, well then after this, we want to do a release technique that's going to allow you to release your spine while you have that extra range of motion that you just got from this first stretch. So here's how you do that. You can lie down on the ground, and what I want you to do is put your butt up here and the backs of your calves right here. It's gonna look like I'm lying in a chair tipped over on its back. So it looks like this. I'm gonna come down here, I'm gonna bring my legs up on top of the chair, I'm gonna lie down on the ground, and I'm just literally gonna relax in this position. Now, the most important thing is you want something underneath your knees enough to feel like somebody's pulling up on your thigh a little bit. Just a little bit of traction up on the thigh, because again, what we're trying to do is say, okay, we've stretched the joint, and now we want to make sure the joint knows that we want it to remain this way. While we're in this position, we can do anything we want. We can text, we can pull out our iPad, we can watch a show on the TV, we can read a book, but it's really important to sit in this position for anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes. If we do this for 10 to 30 minutes, we are going to use that flexibility that we just gained from that stretch, and we are going to make our body confident in the ability to create more flexibility and keep that flexibility over time so that we can consistently have less tightness and less aches in that SI joint. So once you've done this for 10 to 30 or so minutes, slowly roll out, come up, and see how your body feels. For most people, the stretch and this release technique is going to make a significant impact on releasing your SI joint and making your lower back feel so much better. So no more excuses if you have SI joint pain. Try this stretch, try this release technique, and watch how much better you feel in your body after you give them a shot.